Commissioners, if I may make one statement that Commission President Thomas is out on vacation for today's meeting.
Please go ahead and get it done. Okay, tell us who you are.
I'm Dave Sutton. I'm from Stonewood. I'm a recovering addict. And I've been at this for a couple years, the last year successfully, fortunately, but also in that 2 years, I've grown to know a lot of other people with the same affliction very personally. And I want to stress that I think this money that the state's getting, first and foremost, should be considered for harm reduction, should be a top priority. Because the cost of the taxpayers for to treat some of the diseases addicts are unfortunate enough to get is monumental. These infections that go into the blood and then into the bones, millions. I happen to know an orthopedic surgeon and a head of pathology at a huge hospital, and he told me about some of it. He's seen a lot of it. And it's in the millions, tens of millions of dollars. I know someone that just spent over 2 months in intensive care at Ruby, all because of a dirty needle. And that's, that's all over. Who knows how many people. Thank God they have access to public health care, but in the long run, it would save the taxpayers a lot of money. Nobody wants to think about passing out these needles, but it should be the first thing on everybody's agenda. And also, I hope the transparency continues once this money's passed along to smaller towns and stuff, because if there's a pattern that develops where this money's being spent for things that's not related, then, I think that should be addressed. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are being so transparent. And I hope that continues on down the line. But that being said, I think there's few times that people have the opportunity to make an impact on so many people's lives directly. And it's not costing anybody anything except the Sacklers. So I hope everybody, finds it in themselves to not pass up this opportunity and use it, as best they can. So if you can find that in yourselves, that would be great. Thanks a lot.
No one on Zoom wishing to speak. New business, public comment, it's taken care of. Consent agenda, Commissioner, all in favor? Aye. Payroll change notices, A.
Move to approve payroll change notice A. Resignation.
Motion approved, all signal by saying aye.
Aye.
No minutes, requisitions, A and B, Greater Harrison and vendor, Commissioner.
Move to approve requisitions A.
All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Exonerations is just one, A, exhibit A. Commissioner,
Rocky, could you offer those exonerations?
What happened there is, this was the first time the NAICS codes, which is given to us from the state tax department, which they use Marshall Swift guide to do that. The NAICS is North American Industrial Classification System code. And that's what the businesses use on that. When this was when this one was in, it previously were under 2359, which is other specialty trade construction. Well, when we key that, we don't see, if that tells us it, when we look at our guide, it tells us that that's 11 trend 11, 2% good. What it is, the trend brings it up to where the value would be now, the percent good takes the depreciation off, so that we know where it is. Well, when we looked at this, and they did have the 2359 in the new trend, the new codes, we use the 2371, which says utility construction, which that's what they were. Well, the utility construction, the trend in depreciation was 46.9. So when the company called, we were talking to them, telling them this is what we use, and we realized that the code that we used was wrong, so we went to a 2389, which was the same as 2359, other construction, other special construction. So we put that in with this, and it got it back to where it is in terms of depreciation of 11.2. So there were 5 different ones we saw. We used the 2371. We did a query to see how many we did that under, so we changed when it moderated all 5 that we used, that 2371, adjusted it back.
So hopefully these are the last.
Yeah.
We won't see any more big ones like this.
Only when we use the 2371, we have something else with codes, it would be something code.
Okay, because was a big number
Yeah.
this week. Thank you. Okay, move to approve exonerations. Exhibit A.
All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
No, nothing for number 7 under project fund. Number 8, review, discuss, consider approval of engagement letter to the commission to retain Steptoe and Johnson for legal work associated with a proposal to extend the property tax increment finance district known as Harrison County Development District Number 3, White Oaks, for 15 years. Commissioner, any questions for Mr. Amon before we vote?
Just exactly what all that's gonna entail.
Morning. So the process for that would be, we have a resolution that's already been prepared, that's up for consideration by the commission today, that would set the public hearing. It's for the latter part of August. So then I'd be back for the public hearing. There is a legal ad that has already been prepared. That's a part of the resolution that we would publish the legal ad. There is a application and project plan amendment that we would prepare associated with this, similar to what you've seen for Charles Point. And then at the time of the public hearing, there's a resolution we prepare that authorizes submitting the application to the department. And then we would be handling any questions that the department has with respect to what's going on in the application and the district, et cetera. As well as anything else that the county would want us to look into with respect to this, that sort of thing. So that's what the work would entail. There's also after it comes back from the department, there's a final resolution and order that we would prepare that would be the final approval by the county. If the county is agreeable to how this has emerged from the department. And that would be basically the scope of the work.
And that would be from, when you say the department, the
West Virginia Department of Economic Development.
Development. And I guess this is where I'm kinda. We got 8 and 9 is both the same thing. I noticed we have an August 28th for a hearing date. Is there a reason for that date?
So it has to be at least 30 days out from when the commission, or when the commission is able to provide notice of the hearing to the levying bodies and to the department. So ideally, if the commission were to approve the resolution today, setting the public hearing date that particular day, then that would allow enough time for me to prepare the letters providing the notices and send those to Bridgeport, the Board of Ed, and the department. And then that's the earliest time, basically, as I calculated, looking, Laura and I discussed it, and looking at the calendar, that 30 days could be provided with that notice, and then that would be the next meeting after that.
Commissioner Truecost doesn't mind. I'm gonna ask White Oaks. Is there an issue with pushing you back 2 weeks?
No, sir.
And I only say that because right now this commission, we're up to our ears in trying to work out some other issues with PSDs and rate increases. And I just feel that with what we've got on our plate right now to try to accomplish that in this amount of time, if it's not a do or die for you all, then if we could push this back a couple weeks, I think it would be very helpful.
That would be September 11th.
That would be fine. For that situation. What we plan to do is, it's just big picture stuff. We're fortunate that our bonds are fully funded. And so by extending this to 15 years, I think it'll give us opportunity to push develop. So it's not critical to that. So that.
Well, I guess what I'm gonna ask is to the 18th. I know Patsy said the 11th, but the week of the 11th, I hope to have my bridal
There's gonna be
vacation, so.
Yeah, we'll go do that. Come back.
And just for the record, it's Tommy Amons, representative of Steptoe Johnson, that's at the podium. Okay, so I think what we'll do is on agenda item number 9, we'll change that to amend that to be September 18th. And can we have a motion on accepting Steptoe Johnson as legal work for associated proposal to extend the property tax increment finance district?
Yeah, make a motion to approve number 8 for engagement letter with Steptoe Johnson.
Okay.
And we adopt a resolution on agenda item 9 for September.
Okay, so 8, motion to approve, all in favor, signal by saying aye. 9, then the agenda item reads as changed, only changes adoption resolution that would set the public hearing to be held before the county commission on September 18th regarding the proposed extension property tax for District 3 White Oaks for 15 years. Also, High Tech Corridor Development LLC.
Thank you, Woody. Appreciate it.
Motion approved 9.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discuss, consider ESRI, renewal quote. Madam Administrator.
So this is our yearly renewal quote for our GIS database. This is something that comes before the commission every year. The total would be $17,085. Is my recommendation that we approve once again this year.
Commissioner, any questions?
Move to approve agenda item 10 ESRI renewal quote.
Motion to approve, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 11, budget revisions, general county, vital services, Madam Administrator.
There are no budget revisions for this week, gentlemen.
Okay,
I was all excited.
administrators report.
The only thing I have is I signed the paperwork to close on the parking lots on Washington yesterday.
Mhm.
Now we will have to wait 60 days before we can actually start utilizing those parking lots, but at least that has been accomplished.
Remember one thing that's important on the one lot that's going to be for the public. I love, like at the mall, they've done these pull-in handicap spots that makes it so much easier for people in need. Like a Target, you actually don't pair it. You can almost like,
Right. They're horizontal
yes.
instead of vertical spots.
When you reline that, do that, I think that even if it's just 2 spots, I think it's so great. And I don't have anything, Commissioner, at all from Commissioner comments. Do you have anything?
Just that, last night I left here at about 20 after. And we did have a potential security issue in the sheriff's tax collection. We had a gentleman in there that was giving the tax collectors a very hard time, and they were looking for a male, aka they were looking to see if you were still in the office, Rocky.
Yeah, I was back, I couldn't really hear from back where I'm at.
And
He did come over to our office after.
And so I just want to point out that security, I think, is leaving right at 4, and they weren't in the building at 4:15.
I will have to double check on that. I spoke with the sheriff probably about 2 weeks ago, and he changed their schedule to have an overlap that they should be here until 4:30 in the
Well, we
afternoon.
want to make sure, because I don't think there was anybody in here last night with them.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
definitely find out because
I
of,
don't know if I don't. I do know days prior to that, they still there.
But I think that we need to make them take at least one sweep through to see who's in the building before they walk out the door. So, because even if they leave, they don't know if your office or the tax office is still working with people, and it's just,
Because that's fine before the doors go open, they come in, and then we know we're gonna be there, and I don't know how tax office works there. For my 3 up front, they all know, they all 3 stay.
I think that's what they do at the tax office. So if they come in a couple minutes till 4, they don't know how long they're gonna be there. And this gentleman last night was not very polite to them. I'll just use that word. So I just like to make sure before they leave that they make sure that all the employees are able to not have the public in with them, because we don't know the situation.
okay.
That's it for me.
So I'm gonna ask you, Commissioner, do you want to take a recess until 10:30, or is it within our boundaries to go ahead and go into executive session and hear from GE?
Matt, they are here. They are willing to go early should you choose that.
Are we breaking any rules? Okay, motion to go in executive session to talk to GE. Commissioner Curtis Wilkerson.
Just say the reason.
Uh, Potential executive session pursuant 6-9A4B9. Consider matters involving affecting the purchase, sale, lease, property, advanced construction, planning, and investment for public funds, or matters involving commercial petition which might adversely affect the finances and other interests of the county. Okay. Let's do everything.
Shelf space.
To the shell space. Okay. Yeah, this is a big deal. We made it on-
Hey, we're only gonna keep you health hostage for now.
Where?
For that day.
Oh, you're not having it for it. Oh, nice.
Hey, it's gonna be fun.
Well, Casey only gets me for that, you know.
Bring. We want people.
I want to watch you keep him for an hour.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun and fun.
All right, Sean, I'll in there.
Are we?
They have officially